There's a moment, a specific moment, when everything inside you screams to stop. Your body is collapsing. Your mind is fractured. Your soul feels like it's been dragged through broken glass. And in that exact second, when quitting feels like the only logical choice, you're actually standing at the edge of everything you've ever wanted. Most people never see this moment for what it really is. They think it's the end. They think it's proof they've hit their ceiling. They think the universe is telling them to give up. But here's the truth they'll never understand. The hardest point is the checkpoint right before victory. When the weight gets heaviest, you're not falling. You're about to fly. When the darkness gets thickest, you're not lost. You're about to break through. When the pain becomes unbearable, you're not breaking. You're becoming. And right now, whoever you are, wherever you are, you're in that moment. The question is, will you recognize it? Or will you walk away 3 feet from gold? Let me tell you what's really happening to you right now. You've been grinding. You've been pushing. You've been sacrificing sleep, comfort, and easy paths, while everyone around you takes shortcuts. You've been doing everything the voices told you to do. Train harder, stay disciplined, keep going. And yet somehow everything is getting worse, not better. Your progress has stalled. The results you expected aren't showing. The people you thought would support you have disappeared. The goal that seems so close now feels like it's moving further away with every step you take toward it. You wake up exhausted. You go to bed defeated, and somewhere deep inside, a poisonous thought is growing. Maybe I'm not built for this. Maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe I should just stop. This is the valley, the dark valley that sits between who you were and who you're becoming. And here's what nobody tells you about this valley. It's designed to destroy you, not physically, mentally, spiritually. It's designed to make you quit 3 steps before the transformation completes. You see, the universe doesn't test you when you're weak. Weak people quit at the first sign of discomfort. The universe doesn't need to test them because they've already eliminated themselves. No. The universe saves its cruelest test for the ones who are actually close, the ones who've proven they can endure, the ones who are dangerous enough to actually break through. That's you. You're not struggling because you're weak. You're struggling because you're on the verge of a breakthrough so massive that the old version of you needs to be completely annihilated to make room for it. You're not being punished, you're being forged. And the hammer is coming down hardest because you're almost ready. But here's the trap. This moment, this exact moment of maximum difficulty, looks identical to failure. It feels like proof that you should quit. Your brain is flooding you with every logical reason to stop. Your body is begging for relief. Your emotions are screaming that you've had enough. And that's precisely when most people tap out. They mistake the final test for the final defeat. They interpret the darkness before dawn as proof the sun will never rise. They quit at 11:59 when victory was scheduled for midnight. The problem isn't that you're not strong enough. The problem is you don't recognize that the hardest moment is the signal that you're about to win. The dark truth. Let's talk about something they don't want you to know. Something that will either set you free or break you completely. Nothing worth having comes without a blood price. Not success, not strength, not transformation, not power, not respect, not a legacy. Every single thing you want exists on the other side of a door, and that door is locked. The key? It's buried in the darkest, most painful part of your journey. And most people never find it because they turn back when the search gets too dark. You want to know why it gets hardest right before you win? because that's nature's final filter. That's how the universe separates the pretenders from the legends. That's how life ensures that only those who truly deserve the crown actually wear it. Think about it. If victory came easy, everyone would have it. If transformation happened without pain, everyone would be powerful. If success required no sacrifice, everyone would be successful. But they're not. Most people live and die ordinary. Most people never even touch the edge of their potential. Most people quit the moment the comfort ends. And that's why the final stretch has to be unbearable. Because if it wasn't, the prize wouldn't be worth anything. You're in hell right now. I know. Everything hurts. Everything's unclear. You can't see the end. You can't feel progress. You can't even remember why you started. The voices in your head are louder than they've ever been, and they all say the same thing. Stop. Rest. This isn't worth it. But here's what you need to understand. Hell is not your destruction. Hell is your graduation. Every warrior, every champion, every legend you've ever admired went through this exact moment. The moment where quitting made perfect sense. The moment where continuing seemed insane. The moment where the pain was so intense that even breathing felt like lifting mountains. And you know what they did? They took one more step. Not because they felt strong. Not because they saw the light. Not because someone motivated them. They took one more step because something ancient inside them refused to die on its knees. That same thing lives in you, right now, in this moment. It's buried under the exhaustion and the doubt and the fear, but it's there. It's a primal, unbreakable force that doesn't bow to pain. It doesn't negotiate with suffering. It doesn't care how impossible things look. It simply refuses to stop. You've been trying to feel motivated. You've been waiting to feel strong. You've been hoping for a sign that tells you it's going to be okay, but that's not how this works. You don't get certainty before the battle. You don't get confidence before the breakthrough. You don't get proof before the transformation. You get none of that. What you get is darkness. What you get is doubt. What you get is pain so deep it rewrites your DNA. And then if you're brave enough, if you're crazy enough, if you're stubborn enough to keep moving anyway, you get everything. This is not the end of your story. This is the climax. This is the moment the hero faces the dragon. This is the scene where the underdog stands up bloody and broken and decides that death is preferable to surrender. This is where legends are born. But only if you keep going. So what now? What do you do when every cell in your body is screaming for you to quit? What do you do when logic, reason, and common sense all point toward giving up? What do you do when the pain is so heavy you can't even remember what winning feels like? You change your relationship with the darkness. See, you've been fighting against the struggle. You've been trying to escape the pain. You've been treating this hardship like it's your enemy. But what if it's not? What if the hardest moment isn't your obstacle? What if it's your ally? The moment it gets hardest is the moment you're being tested to see if you're worthy of what's coming. This is the universe asking you a question. Do you really want this? Or were you just playing? This is life putting its hand on your chest and saying, if you take one more step, everything changes. But you have to prove you deserve it. Every ounce of pain you're feeling right now is currency. It's buying your transformation. Every moment you endure is an investment in the version of yourself that's about to emerge. Every time you push through when quitting would be easier, you're building something that can never be taken from you. Unshakable will. You think you're breaking? You're not breaking. You're breaking through. There's the difference. Breaking means shattering into pieces that can't be put back together. Breaking through means demolishing the walls that have been holding you captive. Right now, you're not falling apart. You're shedding the weakness, shedding the doubt, shedding every version of yourself that wasn't strong enough to hold what you're about to become. And yes, it's agonizing. Yes, it feels like dying. Because in a way, you are dying. The old you, the limited you, the you that believed in ceilings and limitations, that version is being burned alive. And from those ashes, something fiercer is rising. You're not the same person who started this journey. Look at yourself. Look at what you've already survived. Look at what you've already endured. You've been through hell and you're still here, still standing, still breathing, still fighting. That's not a weakness. That's the mark of something unbreakable. So stop asking yourself if you can continue. The fact that you're still here answers that question. Stop wondering if you're strong enough. You've already proven you are. Stop waiting for the pain to end before you move forward. The pain is the proof that you're moving forward. Here's what's about to happen, and I need you to listen carefully because this is the part that changes everything. You're 3 breaths away from breakthrough. Not 3 months, not 3 years, 3 moments, 3 decisions. 3 times you choose to stand when everything in you screams to kneel. That's it. That's all that separates you from the version of yourself you've been chasing. But those 3 moments require everything. They require you to go deeper than you've ever gone. They require you to find strength in places you didn't know existed. They require you to become someone you've never been. You've been operating on surface-level strength this whole time. The strength that comes from motivation. The strength that comes from inspiration. The strength that comes from wanting to prove people wrong. That strength brought you here, but it won't carry you through. The strength you need now is buried deeper. It's the strength that doesn't need a reason. It's the strength that doesn't need an audience. It's the strength that exists purely because you refuse to be anything other than unstoppable. This is where you dig into the core of your soul and pull out something primal. This is where you stop being a person trying to achieve something and start being a force of nature that cannot be stopped. This is where your identity shifts from someone who's struggling to someone who breaks through everything. And I'm going to tell you something that might sound crazy. The harder it gets, the closer you are. That's not motivational fluff. That's physics. That's nature. That's how transformation works. Think about a rocket breaking through Earth's atmosphere. Where does it experience the most resistance? Right at the edge? Right before it breaks free into space? Maximum friction, maximum heat, maximum pressure, and then suddenly, nothing. Weightlessness, freedom, infinite space. You're that rocket. Right now, you're experiencing maximum resistance because you're about to break through into a dimension of yourself that operates on completely different rules. A version of yourself that doesn't struggle with the things that are crushing you now. A version of yourself that looks back at this moment and says, that was when everything changed. But you have to push through this layer. You have to endure the heat. You have to survive the pressure. Because on the other side, you don't just win. You transform into someone who can never lose again. And here's what they don't tell you about the other side. Here's what's waiting for you when you finally break through. It's not just victory. It's not just achievement. It's not just success. It's peace. Real peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing you've been tested by the absolute worst and you didn't break. The kind of peace that comes from staring into the void and choosing to keep walking. The kind of peace that comes from discovering that you're so much stronger than you ever imagined. When you make it through this, you'll never fear struggle again. You'll never doubt yourself again. You'll never wonder if you're capable again, because you'll have proof, undeniable, unshakable proof that you can survive anything. And that changes everything. You'll walk into rooms differently. You'll speak differently. You'll move through the world differently, because you'll carry with you the knowledge that you've been to the darkest place a human can go, and you clawed your way out, alone, through sheer force of will. People will feel it. They won't be able to name it, but they'll sense something different about you, something heavier, something more real. They'll see someone who's been through fire and came out forged instead of burned. But more than that, more than what others see, you'll know. Every morning when you wake up, you'll remember what you overcame. Every time you face a new challenge, you'll think back to this moment and realize that nothing will ever be as hard as what you're going through right now. And if you can survive this, you can survive anything. This isn't just about achieving a goal. This is about becoming someone who cannot be stopped, someone who cannot be broken, someone who looks at impossible and says, "Watch me." That person is being born right now, in this moment, in this struggle, in this pain, but only if you don't quit. So here we are. This is the moment. This is the decision that determines everything. You can stop. You can walk away. You can tell yourself you tried your best and it just wasn't meant to be. You can go back to comfort, back to safety, back to the life you knew before you started this journey. No one would blame you. Most people would understand. How most people would say you were smart to quit. But you'd know. For the rest of your life, you'd know. You'd know that you were 3 steps from glory and you blinked. You'd know that you were standing at the door to everything you ever wanted. You turned around. You'd know that the hardest moment was actually the last moment, and you didn't push through. And that knowledge would haunt you forever. Or you can make a different choice. You can look at the pain and say, "Not enough." You can stare at the impossible and say, "Try harder." You can feel every ounce of exhaustion and still take one more step. You can keep going, not because you feel strong, but because you refuse to be weak. Not because you see the end, but because you trust the process. Not because it's easy, but because you're not the person who needs easy anymore. You're the person who eats darkness for breakfast and spits out lightning. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. And this choice will echo through the rest of your existence. This is the moment that separates your life into before and after. Before you became unstoppable. After you proved that nothing can break you. The universe is watching. Your future self is watching. Everything you're meant to become is waiting on the other side of this decision. So what's it going to be? Are you going to let the hardest moment defeat you? Or are you going to recognize it for what it really is? The final boss before you level up? Are you going to interpret the pain as punishment? Or are you going to see it as preparation for the power that's coming? Are you going to quit at 11:59? Or are you going to take one more breath, clench your fists and push through to midnight? Because I'm telling you, with absolute certainty, with every fiber of my being, it gets hardest right before you win. And you're in the hardest part right now, which means victory is so close you could touch it if you just reached out your hand instead of dropping it. So don't drop it. Don't quit. Don't surrender. Not now. Not when you're this close. Not when you've already come this far. Not when everything you've ever wanted is waiting for you 3 steps ahead. Keep going. When your legs give out, crawl. When your body shuts down, use your mind. When your mind breaks, use your soul. And when your soul feels empty, remember this moment. Remember that someone told you the truth. That darkness means you're about to break through. Keep going when it makes no sense. Keep going when you can't see the path. Keep going when everyone thinks you're crazy. Keep going when you think you're crazy. Just keep going. Because on the other side of this hell is a version of yourself that makes all of this worth it. A version that stands taller, hits harder, burns brighter. A version that looks back at this moment and thanks you for not quitting. That version is waiting, but they'll never exist if you stop now. So take a deep breath, feel the pain, acknowledge the struggle, then do the only thing that matters. Keep going. Keep going until the darkness cracks. Keep going until the light breaks through. Keep going until your name becomes synonymous with unstoppable. Keep going until you win. And you will win. Not because I said so. Not because you're lucky. Not because the universe owes you anything. You'll win because when it got hardest, when quitting made perfect sense, when the entire world was screaming at you to stop, you looked at all of that and made a different choice. You kept going. Now prove it.